So right now I'm just covering what would be in the first 6 weeks of 7th grade. Previously we've gone over TEK 7.2a, which is we're talking about some subsets of rational numbers. Now we've only made one video of that, and we've only done one little quiz assignment on it. And that doesn't mean we're done with it. It's going to take steps and practice for us to memorize that. But what we're going to focus on today is 7.3a and 7.3b. Now these, like 7.2a, are really a continuation on from 6th grade. That's why they're at the start of the 7th grade school year. What these are they're extending their knowledge about how to multiply, divide, subtract, add rational numbers, and these TEKs are generally the same thing. Now, once again, what those rational numbers include fractions, whole numbers, decimals, positives, negatives. So in 6th grade, we laid the foundation, so everybody should know how to do that. The skill that it's taking now in 7th grade is extending it a little further, where the whole point of this is we have to read these word problems and decipher what it's asking us to do. So first we're going to review what we have from 6th grade, and these are their multiplication, division rules, our adding rules, and what to do if we have to subtract these integers. So first we're going to have positive times a positive makes a positive. Positive times a negative equals a negative. Negative times a positive equals a negative. Negative times a negative equals a positive. So one thing that we're going to notice, if they are the same when we're multiplying or dividing, the answer is going to end up being positive. If they are different, our answer is going to end up being negative. So down here we have two negatives, but we notice that they're the same, so that's going to make our answer positive. When we go down to our adding rules, it's really similar, but we don't want to get it mixed up. Positive plus positive, we're going to add them and keep the sign. Positive plus negative, subtract and take the bigger sign. Negative plus positive, subtract and take the bigger sign. Negative plus negative, add and keep the sign. So what we're going to see over here is if they are the same, like here and here, we're going to add them. If they are different, like the two middle ones, then we are going to subtract and take the bigger sign. Next, we're going to go to the subtraction rules. And so sometimes in order for us to use the adding rules, we have to use the subtraction rules first to turn it into an addition problem. So step one, we would keep the first number the same. So in our example, positive 3 minus positive 7, we're going to keep this first number the same. Step two, change the subtraction to an addition sign. So the subtraction changed into an addition sign. And step three, make the second number its opposite. So the opposite of positive 7 is negative 7. So now we have our problem in addition form, and now we can use our addition rules. We have a positive plus a negative. Positive plus a negative, we're going to subtract and take the bigger sign. So 7 minus 3 is 4, and the bigger number is 7, so we're going to have negative 4. So once again, we're still reviewing from 6th grade. This is reciprocal. Reciprocal, another word for reciprocal is the multiplicative inverse. And this is something that's really, really easy once we grasp the concept. So let's say we have a number like 15. The inverse, or reciprocal, they're same word, I'm using them interchangeably, would be 1 over 15. So if we had 27, our inverse or our reciprocal would be 1 over 27. Now we're going to think about it the other way. If we had 1/3, our reciprocal would instead be 3, which is the same as 3 over 1. So really all we're doing is we're just flipping the top and bottom. And when we have a whole number like this, we know our denominator is going to be 1. So 15 is the same as 15 over 1. 3 is the same as 3 over 1. So now if we have 1 over 8, our inverse, we're basically just going to flip it, is going to be 8 wholes, or in other words, 8 over 1. So what we should notice, a number and its reciprocal multiplied together should equal 1. So 15 times 1 over 15 will equal 1. 27 times 1 over 27 will equal 1. 1/3 times 3 should equal 1. And 1 over 8 times 8 should equal 1. Another important thing we need to know about reciprocals is multiplying by a number is the same as dividing by its inverse or reciprocal, and vice versa. Dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by its inverse or reciprocal. So what that means is, if I did 3 times 16, I know that multiplying by 6 is the same as dividing by 1 over 6, and I should get the same answer. If I was going to multiply by times 14, I know that's the same as dividing by 1 over 14. So also, if I did it the reverse way, I know that dividing by 1 over 14 is the same as multiplying by 14 over 1.